So for chapter 4, 4.1 is talking about circles. For this subtopic, I have 10 examples to go through. So for every case, I will discuss one example. Okay, so at the starting of the topic first, circles. You know circles? Bulatan, a circle. Okay, so what is the key point that very important when you're doing circles? So in circles, you must always know what is your center and then what is your radius from all the information they give us. Alright, so where center di tengah, titik tengah dalam bulatan iaitu HK. So radius, what's the definition of the radius will be the distance of this center to the perimeter of the circle. So this will be your definition of radius. So therefore, when you're doing circles, you must know what's your HK and what's your radius R. So what's the formula for a circus? We have two forms. The first one will be standard form. Another one will be general form. So if the question doesn't mention any form of the equation of the circle, you can give either one, which one you like, okay? So the standard form of the circle will be x minus the center of the circle, which is h coordinate square, plus y minus the y coordinate from the center, which is k square equals to r square. So this will be our standard form of writing the circle equations. Meanwhile, for general form will be x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy, then plus c by c is a constant here, equals to 0. So what's the difference between standard form and general form? When we expand the standard form, when you expand the standard form, you will get general form. So you can see x squared, then you will get 2hx. So there will have something x here. Then you will have something coordinate h squared, a constant here. Then when you expand for the second bracket here, y squared, here you go find y squared, and then 2yk. So something y at here. And then k squared inside the c here. And then the radius r, you have to move back to left hand side in order to get this constant. So general form is, it must equals to 0. While standard form, you will put in the bracket like this. Okay, so from standard form, you want to get to general form, you can expand it. Okay, so when you want from general form, you get back standard form, you can completing the square. Okay, so that is our basic idea here. How we get general form, how we get standard form. So again, from here, standard form, we can expand to get general form. From general form, we can completing the square to get standard form back. All right. Okay, then what can we get if we have center and radius? When we put in formula, put in standard form formula, of course, you get the equation of the circles. So this is your equation of the circles. You've got two forms. So let's say if you are given circles, okay, you are given circles equation, just from the equation, what information you have to take back from there? You will be looking at here, x equals to h, y equals to k. So means that your hk will be your center. And then you can see the number here, that will be your radius. So square root of this number, you'll get your radius. Okay, so we have two-way direction in the questions here, means they give you center, they give you radius, you form the equation. Another way will be reverse way, where they give you equation, then reverse back, ask you to find what is your center, what is your radius. So from standard form, we can see our center really easy, where x equals to h, y equals to k, that will be our value of center, coordinate center xy. So when you square root of this number, you will get back your radius. Meanwhile, from general form, So how do you get your center? You have to memorize this formula. So center will be equals to negative G, negative F. So where do we find G and F? G will be the coefficient of X, while Y will be the coefficient of Y. Since here we have 2G, means you need to divide 2 in order to get G. And for this coefficient Y, you need to divide 2 in order to get F. So for radius, it will be square root of G squared plus F squared minus C. Alright, so when we're doing standard form, our focus will be your center and radius H and K. So this question will be more directly than general forms, because general form, the value implied inside at the coefficient of X and the coefficient of Y. So therefore you need to find, if you have general form, you must make sure what is your G, what's your F, and what's your C. Then in order to find what is your center and what is your radius. So that is your basically your circles, your keywords. The important thing here. Okay, so for circles, everything cannot run out with this important key point. Where is your center and what is your radius? Alright, so when you're doing completing the square, so you put back the X thing in bracket, you put back the Y thing in bracket, so completing the square, and then you put the constant to the right hand side. That will be your standard form. So this will be your introduction of your circles and important things at here. Okay, so for question number 1A, state the coordinate of the center and radius of the circles. So here is our equation. Okay, so what kind of the form of this equation? This equation will be your standard form. So do you still remember how do you get information from your standard form? Get your X coordinate, get your Y coordinate, and square root of the value back will be your radius. Alright, so what's your X coordinate? -2. What's your Y? It will be 4. So therefore from here, very obvious, our center will be equals to -2, 4. Okay, so X, how do we get X equals to, just let your X plus 2 equals to 0, you get X equals to -2. Like when you want to put back in bracket, so you move the -2 to the left hand side, it will be equal to X plus 2. So that will be our first answer. Your center will be -2 and 4. And then the value at the back here will be R squared. So therefore your R will be equals to 8. Square root of 64 will be 8. So that will be our radius. So this is the example showing how we get information from our equation of the circle. From the equation above, find the equation and in general form. So how we can get standard form into general form? By expanding the equation, we can get the general form. So you can see general form is everything at left hand side then equals to 0, and then they will arrange in order X square, Y square, something X, something Y, and a constant here. So by referring to our standard form equation, they're given at the above there. This is the given equation. So I'm going to show you how we get in general form. This is our standard form. Okay, the method we need here will be expanding. So expanding this X plus 2 squared will be X squared, AB. So your concept will be A plus B squared. A squared, 2AB, B squared. Alright, so A squared, X squared. So 2AB will be 4X, then B squared will be 4. And then expand for this Y minus 4 squared, it will be Y squared, -8Y plus 16. So for the constant at the back there, move to the left hand side, let everything equals to 0. That will be our general form. Okay, then last step, we are going to rearrange everything. So starting with X squared, continue with Y squared. So this one done, then something X for X. So something Y here, -8Y. Then what is our constant? So our constant here will be 4 plus 16 minus 64. So it will be negative 44 equals to 0. So this is our general form. Okay, so just now I show you how to get center and radius from standard form, right? So now we have this general form. All right, so now we have this general form. So in general form, what is the important keyword in general form? You must find out what's your GFC. Okay, so what's your GFC here? So this is like extra. You can see what's our GFC. So 4x will be our 2g, right? Something x. This is our g, 2g. This is our 2f. This is our c. So negative 8 will be 2f. And then negative 44 will be our c. So GFC. So what is our g? So just take down the coefficient. The coefficient of x is 4. So 2g is equals to 4. So g equals to 8. And then for f, you will find this is negative 4. And then for c, it will be negative 44. So you can see, if you want to find back your center, what's your formula of your center? Negative g, negative f. So it will be negative 2, negative, negative, positive 4. Okay? So it won't have any conflict. They will be same. Same equation, of course, the information will be same. Just the working will be different. This is what we're doing from standard form, and this is what we're doing from general form. So if I want to proceed for radius, then you need to use formula. So general form will be more on formula. Okay, so what's your radius formula here? Will be g squared f squared minus c. So g squared plus f squared minus c. Okay, so press your calculator. You should able to get back value of 8. Okay, so you should get back value of 8. Same answer with just now from the standard form. Okay, so equation of the circle have point as center. So I said in this circle, you must know what's your center, and then what's your radius, then only we can do something. And this question is directly give you point 512 is center, radius equals to 2. So I said just now I want two form, standard form and general form. So standard form is very easy because your center, you can see x is equals to 5, y equals to 12. Therefore, you just put in the bracket x minus 5 square plus y minus 12 square and radius square 2 square. So our standard form will be equals to 4. So that will be our standard form. So how about what is our general form? So from standard form to general form, we are going to expand it. Okay, so expand this x squared, then 2ab. 2ab will give you negative 10x plus 25. For this one, y squared, negative 24y plus 144. Then minus 4 equals to 0. Okay, so we rearrange into the general form. Start with x squared, and then y squared, and then something x here, and then something y. And then we collect all the constant here, where 25 plus 144 minus 4 will give us 165 equals to 0. All right, so this will be our general form. We continue for number 3. Okay, all is finding equations. So give you information and then see how we understand the questions. So for the first question, they give you directly. Okay, center is what? Radius and what? So what is your equation here? So our equation will be, you see, x equals to 2. This is y equals to 1, means x minus 2 square plus y minus 1 square. Radius is 4 square. Okay, so 4 square will be 16. We just need to figure out what is our radius square. Here is enough. Okay, this is our standard form. Either one, because in my questions, I didn't say this equation of the circle in standard form or general form. Means I can give my answer in standard form or I can give my answer in general form. So I found that doing standard form will be more easier than general form. Okay, so for B, what's the situation? Centered at origin. So center at origin, they just want to test you whether you understand or not what is origin. Origin is the point of 0, 0. And then pass through 3, 4. So in this question, they did give us directly what is our radius. So we just illustrate out. Our center is 0, 0, because the most important is we find out what is our center and what is our radius. And then they said pass through 3, 4. What we can see here, I want to find my circle. I have the center at the same time I must find out what is the radius. So the radius here will be need your SPM knowledge. It will be distance between 2 points. So you can see my radius is forming the distance between 2 points. So when we're finding distance between 2 points, the formula will be square root of x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. So radius will be square root. So this one I take it as 0.1. This is point number 2. So I will take 3 minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared. So just press your calculator, we will get this 5. Okay, so therefore, finally, the equation will be x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared and radius squared. So simplify it will become x squared plus y squared equals to 25. Okay, so find the equation of the circle where the given information here is endpoint of the diameter. They want to tell you endpoint of the diameter. What's the diameter located? It must be passed through your center, then only can see, we can say that this is your diameter. Endpoint of the diameter maksudnya titik hujung diameter ialah 20, Q is 40. Alright, so we don't have anything. We don't have center, we don't have radius. All this we need to find out by ourselves. Then only we can build out our equation of the circle. So how to get our center? Because we said diameter, of course our center will be at the midpoint of our diameter, because this is your radius, this is your radius, and then confirm your center will be your midpoint. Alright, midpoint of that 2 points. So center will be equals to your midpoint between these 2 points. So how to get your midpoint? Okay, plus x divided by 2, and then y plus y divided by 2. So this is our midpoint. So we get our center. After we get our center, we have to find out what is our radius. So radius will be the distance between 2 points. So you can see radius, how we find this distance. We need to use our knowledge. There will be distance between these 2 points. The formula will be x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. So it will be equals to 1. So our equation will be x minus 3 squared plus, because y is 0, right? So y squared lah. Because y minus 0, like just now, y minus 0 is nothing, y squared. X minus 0 is nothing, just x squared. So from here I can proceed my step faster. Y minus 0, just y squared lah. Then what is my radius square? So 1 square will be equals to 1. Okay, so what happens if the given situation center is 6, negative 2, alright, so center is given, so our task here will be find out what is our radius. Then the situation given us will be tangent to x-axis. Okay, so if I want to draw, center is 6, negative 2, so I want to draw this center. So I already draw out this one, x-axis, y-axis. I want to draw it so that I want to get the information of radius. You see, they say tangent to x-axis means our circles will be like touching x-axis, because what's the meaning of tangent? Anything that touch your curve, like this is your curve that is touching at this point, this line will be your tangent. You're touching this point, so this line will be your tangent, right? So they say tangent is your x-axis, so means your x-axis is touching your circle. It will be like this. Okay, so tangent as x-axis. Okay, so this is my circle where center is 6, -2, and then this is my tangent as x-axis. So from here, what can I see? I want to find radius. So this is my radius. So only you can see from illustrate the diagram here. So radius, how many unit here? So it will be 2 unit below the y-axis. So radius is 2. Because I see the coordinate here is -2. Okay, so means that here will be 2 unit. So that is how I get the radius. Therefore, the equation of the circle will be x minus 6 square, then y will be y plus 2, because that is y -2, so y plus 2 square, radius square will be 4. So this is our standard form. So in order to find general form, we can practice one more time. Okay, so just expand it. So I have shown you from standard form to general form by expand. So how to form this standard form, how to form this general form, all the formula, center, radius, how we get. So in next example, you're going to get general form, and then how we get back standard form. Our question will be asked you finding the radius. Okay, still in the keywords of the circle, radius and center of a circle by giving you these general equations. So I have two ways to solve it. One will be using the formula. As we memorize the formula, when we have general form, center -g -f, radius g square s square minus c. Another way, second way, we will change the general form back to standard form by completing the square. So in this form, you can see what's the center, what's the radius. Alright, example A. X squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 4y minus 20 equals to 0. So this is my method 1 and this is my method 2. Okay, so method 2, we're just using the formula for x squared y squared plus 2x minus 4y minus 20. So when we have general form, the important key here will be your GFC. So what's your G? What's your F? What's your C? 2G equals to 2. 2F equals to -4. C equals to -20. So find out G is 1. F is -2. C is -20. So when you have all these keyword GFC, then your center -G, -F, so equals to -1, 2. Meanwhile, radius formula will be square root G square plus F square minus C. So we will have 1 square plus -2 square minus -20. Okay, so press your calculator here. It will become square root of 25, so your radius will be 5. And I will show you another method here where we change back to standard form. So how we're going to change back in standard form, there will be needing your completing the square. Okay, so what is your first step? The first step will be collect your x, collect your y plus 2x. Then collect your y thing will be y squared minus 4y. So your constant, just let it. Okay, so that will be your first step, collecting. Collect your x, collect your y. Okay, then I will start completing the square. How to completing the square? So your x, put in your bracket, square. So this is your A, this is your B, so you don't have any C. So your A, your x here, put in bracket square, so your B will be divided by 2. So 2 will be divided by 2 equals to 1. So whatever you write in this bracket, minus back that constant. So that is your method of completing the square. So how to completing the square for this part? So for this unknown y, we put in square. So for this value, b, we will divide by 2. So divide by 2 will be -2. Once you have this constant -2, you have to minus back -2 square in order to balance back this quadratic. So lastly, we just proceed -20 equals to 0. Okay, so now we will going to put our standard form where starting with x plus y squared then y minus 2 square, then all the constant. So means negative this one, negative this one, negative this one, all the constant going to the right side become r squared. So here will be minus 1, minus 4, minus 20, minus 25. So go back to right hand side, positive 25. So this is our standard form. Therefore, from the standard form, we can see it clearly. Center, negative 1, x equals to negative 1, y equals to 2. Radius, r squared is 25. So r will be 5. So both method got its pro and con. So method 2, again need you to memorize the formula. Then method 1, need your basic of computing the square. So B will be your homework to try. I will show you for question C. Why I need to show you for question C, you can see that for circles, this is simple x squared y squared. For this circle, it's more complicated. It will be 2x squared, 2y squared. Alright? So you can see ellipse, later on, ellipse and circle, the difference is between this x, y only. So if the coefficient of x squared and y squared, they are same, means this is your circle because they are the factor of x, which is horizontally, the factor of y, which is vertically, they are same. So when they're same means this is a circle. When the coefficient they are different, means something factor for horizontal will be bigger or something factor for vertical will be smaller. They will become your ellipse. So circle and ellipse is similar. Okay, so our standard form, you notice that our standard form in the beginning of the questions, our standard form is start with x squared and y squared. It doesn't give you any coefficient. They say this one ax squared, by squared, other. They just x squared and y squared. Means when they give us the equation got 2x squared, 2y squared coefficient in the front here, you must simplify it by dividing by 2. So in order to get x squared plus y squared minus x minus plus 3y, then minus 13 over 2. So you have to deal with fractions. So no choice. Alright, so this is only our general form. So from here, then only we can read out the information. What is your 2G? What's your 2F? What's your C? So the 2G will be the things from the x, coefficient from the x, negative 1. Then 2F will be the coefficient from the y, which is 3. Then your C will be negative 3 over 2. Okay, so from here, get your G will be negative 1 over 2. Your F will be 3 over 2. And your C will be negative 13 over 2. And center. Formula, negative G, negative F. And radius, it will be G squared, F squared, minus C. So G negative 1 over 2 square, F 3 over 2 square, minus negative 13 over 2. So you're getting our radius in cert 10. Okay, so for this changing to general form, same also. Nothing we can do with the coefficient 2 here. So it just come and kacau only. So what we can do is we have to divide it by 2. So we will start with this. This is our general form that we're going to refer. Okay, so this is our equation that we needed. Then we start our computing the square. So in our computing the square, the first step will be we collect back what is our x, and then what is our y, and then let the number just set here. Then put back in bracket. So x squared, for the numbers here, will be divided by 2. So it will be fraction. Okay, so for this constant that we write, we have to minus back in square. So that will be our computing the square. Again, I can do again for y. So y put in bracket square. For this coefficient b divided by 2, so 3 over 2. Then minus back the coefficient 3 over 2. Therefore, finally we collect back the bracket. And then equals to, so try to calculate this. and this constant, then move back to the right hand side, it will be equals to 10. Alright, so from here you can see your center is from the standard form here, x equals to 1 over 2, y equals to negative 3 over 2. So how about your radius? It will be square root of 10. So you can see both answer won't have any conflict. So both method will give you the same answer.